Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video of Blueport Pleasure Beach. Yes, you know it. We are, as I said last video, we are embarking on ending this series and finishing it off. And today I am finishing up some more areas in the Alpine section. I do some more interior, I do like an outdoor bar, sitting area sort of thing. And then I literally just detail the hell out of this interior here. So a lot of cool interior stuff happening today. So sit back and let me explain to you what I'm doing here. As we embark on this exciting speed build in Planet Coaster, I want to appreciate the Alpine interior we're about to create. Like, I want to make it so we picture it so you were like in this like sort of cabin, like sort of lodge. It could be anywhere. It could be in Italy, it could be in France, Germany, Switzerland. I just want like this sort of vibe to come out of this sort of build that I'm doing today, which you will eventually see evolve through time here. It's about like half an hour video. As I told you guys, it's gonna be a little bit longer videos here at the end, because I kind of like just trying to pack in what I can in this situation. So as we focus on the theme park shops with this Alpine theme, it's important to that we understand like the concept of this cash grab situation that this specific park is doing, because it's like low budget. And as Tetsuo mentioned in the video where he was in, it's very important to have all of these cash grab situations. It's a strategic approach that's all about creating a relationship between the revenue generation and the visitor experience. So if you have something to add to it, you will definitely know that this will sell good in your park, and especially if it's relatable to any things you have in your park, sort of as a coaster. It could be a t-shirt with the coaster name, etc. Merch and etc. like that. So it's very important to kind of like go into that vibe and try to create something out of that. But in any case, I am trying to, first of all, making this building clean in here. That's mainly what I always do, is that I try to put in all the walls, the roofs, etc., because that will give me like a better overview on how I want to approach this. So as you can see, we have toilets here, we have the marshmallow shop, and then we have two souvenir shops. So my first thought was I wanted to do like a restaurant, open food court, but then I figured out I already had these two shops in here, and I already had like a food court and drink bar and all that stuff below at the Alpine area. So I felt like I needed to do something else, and I know we have a few souvenir shops already, but I felt like we needed like this like really nice realistic looking one that literally sells everything that involves the Alpine area and Blueport itself. So I can tell you, like, guaranteed, like with this finished, there's only like 2 stations interior left, and then I have a few things here and there that I can do. So expect probably one more video where I can wrap up that, and then maybe one more where I do the last bits and stuff. But we're definitely talking about within a month or 5 weeks or so that this will be out, because we're close. And I know I said it last video too, but we are really close, guys. It is actually quite crazy how close we are to the end game of Blueport. But I just don't want to leave it behind. So there's a lot of areas, like as you saw this in the start, that looked like something that, like, yeah, it looked horrible. So I just mainly want to make it clean inside. I'm not saying that I'm gonna do interior in every single building, but we did build the buildings for us to make interior in. But at the same time, a lot of them are very clean in that way. So like there's nothing like poking out or like a crazy bad looking interior. It's mainly just as I say, very clean. So but we will get there eventually. To see how I feel like, because Extreme needs its interior, and then we have our Alpine Woody coaster, which is also needs some interior. But today it is this guy here, and for now I'm just making it clean, adding in the toilets, and then we are gonna go back outside, where I am going over to this section here, which is I've been struggling and thinking about what kind of vibe I wanted to have here. Did I want to have an extra building? Do I want to have a more open space? What did I want? And it was very difficult for me to find to do a decision here, because the coast is on the right side here, and we have like this sort of like staff building on this. So I was like, why don't I just make it feel like a little of a patio? Like I remember when I was back skiing and stuff, not that we have so much about that here, but there's a lot of these patios and like where you can sit, you can drink a cold one, get the sun while you're watching over the mountains and stuff, and it's just super nice, right? So I was thinking, why don't I just try make an open sitting area, like a bar, like a snack store kind of vibe here, you know? So that's kind of like what I was trying to go for. So what you see me doing here is like this whole little patio, where on the other side, or on this side here, left of it, I'm gonna do like a little open kitchen and like an open interior bar kind of vibe, where we kind of like do all these super cool things, where we put in some drinks and some food, and it's gonna be super cool. And I felt like it needed something like this, and it might not be walkable for the guests. I did try to do something so they at least could have some room up there to walk on, but it didn't go very well. So I put up some benches, and then we'll see how it will go if they eventually will walk up there. But yeah, that's sort of what the situation of this is here. So I'm obviously trying to do some more flower beds, because I wanna cover up the coaster here, so we don't have any crazy people that like jump over the fencing or you know, all those kind of things that these people do in theme parks. No, I don't know, but I just want to keep it like clean, and I don't want to get too far away from it, so I'm just trying to keep it on a low here, so the situation here are actually kind of covered, but you can't really see it in that sense, you know, because it's covered. And then on the other side, when the coaster comes in, I think we're gonna do like some sort of little gateway situation, and I think that's gonna be super nice. So they go under this, and then under it we'll have like, we'll put in some wood beams or something, so it gives a little bit more authentic look, so it's not just concrete you see under here. But that's, as I say, for most likely next video. But we are moving towards the other side here, where I feel like I needed to add this like lushy, vibrant environment. And since I have like this tree in the middle here, I feel like combining these things with each other, and then maybe even add some bouncing later on to give it that fully completion would be super dope. But yeah, adding the fencing here, and then I'm just trying to see what goes where, what can I do, and just filling up the gaps here. And after I kind of did that, I was quite satisfied with how it turned out, and I'm actually super stoked on the whole vibe it gives after it's done, because as I said to you guys, I was struggling a lot to figure out what the frick to place in here. It took me some time to figure out, but then I was just like, why don't we just try do this and see where it takes us? And I'm happy I did, because it really makes this area pop up and also makes it look finished. So I can really appreciate the things when things are starting to come together, and you can actually see the final ending of it, and it just makes me happy, because as you all know, I really want to finish this park. I'm kind of over it now, which should be totally normal after 3 years. So but we're there. We're like 97%, guys. The last 3% will be next video, and then of course I'm gonna try see if I can get Jure to come back and make a little video with me when we end it off. And then there is always the cinematics and the showcases and all that stuff. And good news, I am also working on a Theme Maker Toolkit collection to this park. So eventually when you get this park, you can download them all by just with one click, because there is a lot, and after today too, what I have added in after today is quite crazy, friends. So you will you can expect a theme maker toolkit. I do hope I will get all of them in, but at least we will have about 100, if not 150 in it, because I have about 60 already now, and I'm still keeping adding to them. So yes, but yeah, we're slowly getting the whole structure, the whole base of this sort of open grill bar kind of vibe that I'm going for here. And I'm just trying to mix up some texture so we get like different angles and different looks at it when you look here, right? And I think it's super dope, especially after I start adding the roofing and the interior of the back side here. And I like that it connects to the building here, and it feels like people can actually, like the staff can actually walk through here and then go in on the other side to this situation and like switch swift shifts when they come that far into it. And I also like how it all connects together here, like by having this sort of little closed section when you come from the right side here, and then you see the you see the wood coaster, and you just see like this this beautiful open plaza. And I really dig how that looked. And of course we still need to add a little bit more to our chairlift and to the balloon flat ride and all that stuff, but that's something I can do, as I say, without actually recording, because it's not really so much important stuff to get into that situation. It depending on what I build, obviously, but mainly what I'm focusing on is the interiors that I need to finish around the park here, which is very minimal now compared to now when we finished the big peaks and grins, as I called it, which is a pretty cool name. I feel like you'll see that at the end. I'm doing a little sign and stuff too. But yeah, just combining, as I say, some different colors, some different things here to get like this sort of nice grill vibe. And then I put in some animatronics, of course, and then spicing up the area a little bit with some clutter and etc. And it works out really well, friends, really well. But also, I'm also kind of like switching back and forth here, because you know, I kind of just, when I get ideas, I jump over to another area and stuff. So here we're gonna come back to this, where I do a little bit stuff off camera, but it's usually how it goes. But we'll get back to that. But now we're gonna go back into the shop, where we are gonna focus a little bit more on the interior side now. And as you can see, I'm also opening up the windows now, so we will actually be able to see the shop from the outside, and they will also be able to look through the windows from the inside to the outside and get to see the whole environment and the whole vibe it has. And I really like that. Really like that. Like, I want this shop to like offer merchandise tailored to the theme as it goes as Alpine themed souvenirs. So it could be like winter accessories, it could be like delicious treats, or it could be jackets or something. But of course, in this case, we're doing like more theme park sales, so it's more like t-shirts. We have like some roller coaster souvenirs, all these kind of things of Theme Maker Toolkit I could grab, and I have. I was trying to put that in. I honestly just kind of like tired of using the same old pieces when I actually have better pieces to do interior work with. So in this case, I really used a lot. That's also why I said that the Theme Maker Toolkit collection will definitely be something after today's addition to. And I also know Tetsuo added a few things, and then besides that, we also had a bunch of that in already. So we're getting through it though, at least. But what's good about this too is that if you're strategically placing these shops in high traffic areas, and create an inviting atmosphere, theme parks will generate revenue that helps sustain and improve the park and the whole like management. And if you just do that right, and you actually have a very good like situation of it, and like where you place it, as I feel like here is a good placement. It's a transitioning section from the park to another area. So in that way, you are kind of forced to go in here and kind of look what kind of things do they have, what do they sell, do I need to buy something? And I've noticed that on a lot of theme parks that they have tons of these cash grab and all of these merchandise shops literally in every situation, literally in every area of a park, every themed area of the park. So I was not really like, how do you say, I was thinking, am I adding too many things? But I'm like, no, this is a low budget park. They don't have too much money to build rides and more coasters. So in that case, they are more focused on this whole like creating something for the guests to spend more money on, like this whole cash grab situation, you know. And if you're striking the perfect balance between the revenue generation and the guest satisfaction, you'll eventually create a truly immersive and unforgettable experience. And that's what it's all about when it comes to a theme park, right? And I really love that about this. When it comes to build realistic parks, I love that you have to think about this. This is like one of the cooler things about building more of a realistic sort of park. If you ask me, like having this sort of like low budget in your mind, and you can't like go crazy, and you have to like focus on a few more things. And I really like that. It's a cool challenge, and that's what I always loved about Blueport. And I also know that Jytte also loved it, is that like we didn't have to go beyond and like think crazy things, because it was a low budget park, so we could just build what we just needed to build, nothing else. And I feel like that's kind of like what Blueport has been, except for obviously this Alpine area, which I said they've gotten a little bit more money into it, so they were expanding with this like heavily themed Alpine area that also came with 2 coasters. But besides that, it's a family-friendly park, low budget, based in the UK. It has 4 decent coasters. It has like about 10 flat rides and a tons of cash grab and souvenir shops. And I think that's pretty decent for a park of this size. So yeah, but just to go back to what you're seeing me do here in the background, is all this stuff for this open snack bar I told you guys about. Like I put in some coffee, they can get some cold refreshments here, they can get some cakes, they can get hot dogs, even like tap beer if what they want, snacks, literally everything. And then I added like this pickup and order, and then I felt like it was cool to have like this open kitchen, kind of like with glass, where you can kind of see the chefs make your food, and then you can kind of like get a situation of like time wise on how far your food is coming along. And I love that. I love that when kitchens have this interaction where you can kind of look into and see how they make your food. It's always very, very exciting, especially if you're a foodie like me. But at the end here, before we finish off this like section, because I'm not going back to this afterwards when we finish here, it's literally just adding up a few more things, and then I feel like Pipshot is a perfect location for it here too. So I just gave them their own little section here too, and it fits well with the blue Terrace chairs. So I feel like that could kind of be like Pipshot's kind of like little sponsored sort of area they had there, which I felt like was kind of neat. Adding some lighting here, and then maybe I will do some bonding, as I told you guys, and maybe and that's pretty much it. And of course some lighting for the coasters that comes down as well. But yeah, added that little like the fire and color it dark or black, so it kind of gives me this like these warm heat waves over the grill, and I think that looks kind of neat too. I'm really thinking about all the like the details and stuff, you know, and just trying to add and detail them where it needs to be detailed, and I think we're doing a pretty good job with that. So yeah, just some decals here, and then as you can see what I talked about in the start, like this area it gives when you come here, you have this building on the left and the other on the right, and it just gets like greeted nicely, and I can really appreciate that. But now we are kind of done with our snack bar, or how you can say it. So now I went back into our little lodge, like little souvenir shop here, which most likely will be the most detailed interior in the whole park. And I also think it's kind of nice to end it off with that, you know. So that's kind of like what we're doing here. So I'm just trying to line up where I want things to be and like what do I need to do, and that's kind of like a cool deal to do as well before you start adding things and stuff into your shelves and stuff. It's nice to just put it out like this first, so you can kind of see where things look, how does it look, where can I put things, you know, and it just gives a little extra pop to do that, and then it doesn't look too, you know, like boring at the same time as well. But as I told you guys, in this one here, I am pretty much just going crazy with the Maker Toolkit pieces, since I am really happy for how many things that's been made in Theme Maker Toolkit when it comes to this. Though, for my Theme Maker Toolkit people out there, it would be nice if you guys would maybe even make some more interiors, like souvenir style things. You can make like this for, like these t-shirts for example by Red Mist are amazing. That's been in the game since Theme Maker Toolkit came out, I think, but they're just so good to it. But I needed like when I was making this, there are a lot of things I was like missing, you know, like there's like maybe sunglasses, there could be like some things you can hang on the walls, you know, like some small like you know, all those small jewelry, or like caps, or there's so many different things you could add as a souvenir thing, even more plushies, right? So yeah, I'm definitely missing more of that kind on the workshop for sure, or maybe I just haven't looked right, but I felt like I literally looked it dry, and this is what I came up with and could find of stuff. Books, dolls, Nintendos, t-shirts, bags. Here, this is like towels, but I feel like if we kind of like just put them like this, like they were folding, it could kind of go as t-shirts. So I feel like that's kind of like what I wanted to do. See, that's also what, like, there are no folded t-shirts on the workshop. I couldn't find anyone that goes well with the same style as the ones I've had. So, but anyways, I'm still loving it. I'm still appreciating all the freaking awesome Theme Maker Toolkit pieces there is on the workshop that can help me build such a nice interior as I did here today. So as you saw, I just made like a little fake window with like the billboard inside, and I feel like it kind of works pretty well for that. So I'm kind of happy for how that turned, and I'm also later on doing one more fake window, which is going to be like more of an archy window. So here is something I was actually not that it's take forever to make, but I was kind of like just proud of how all of this kind of ended up looking. So you know, when you go in shops, you always have these like big baskets or like half cages with like just all kind of like toys in, or like in this case like plushies in and all that stuff. And I feel like, why don't I just try to do that, where I've just like put everything in it, and then these can work as a little shop merch too, you know. You can just place it around, and then people can kind of like look around and grab what they find nice, or what they want. And I feel like it kind of adds a lot to it already just by having those two there. So yeah, it's a little bit all over the place, but I didn't want to bother you guys with too many placement of things. As you can see, I'm just like giving you a little bit of sneak peek of the things we're placing down, so it just goes a little bit faster, because this was also like almost, I think it was a week of work. Yeah, most likely, with streams and other videos too and all, but it took a little bit of time to do this, because it's a lot of tedious work to do this, because you want it to look nice, you want it to look precise. So yeah, I'm cutting off the shop thing here, and then I'm adding this little barrier, because you also see that a lot too, like up towards the stores you have like this little barrier of stuff where they always have like extra things you can buy, where usually where I was talking about, where they have hangers, they have like all these like necklaces or small animals or coasters or just all kind of things, right? So what I'm doing was that I added some chocolate. I found there's amazing, like some candy bars, and then I added the Knight Rider and the license plate for that, just as a little extra sell souvenir. And then afterwards here we go over to some extra logs I found. I think it's from Dadapo, who made these amazing poles. They're very cool. So thanks for making those. And I feel like they kind of worked very well in this kind of like Alpine lodge cabin, or what we're calling it, and turned out really well. So here's what I talked about. I'm making this little arch window where I'm taking the screen and putting in yeah, you can see the little billboard picture that we got from the vintage pack. And I kind of like just try to make a window frame and then kind of like make it feel like there's something outside if you look, and it's that's what you see, right? So, but unfortunately in this situation I took the lit window, so I had to change it. And this is what I kind of like do here, where I take the bigger one, and it actually looks a little bit better as well, because then it feels like it's a little bit closer. There's a little bit more stuff to see, you see? So it's kind of nice like that. I was liking it. It was just like a quick impulsive thing I was trying to incorporate, and it kind of worked well. So I could obviously just get a normal picture, but I'm kind of like, I don't want to bother getting too many custom images in here when I can literally just use that, you know? So I feel like that's okay. So over here in this section here, we have the candy, all the candy, because there's a candy store here too. So we're kind of like just doing all this and adding some candy on this side here, and we also have on the other side, just to make it feel like a little bit more realistic in that sense, that you get chocolate and candy over here, and in the midsection and all, you have a little bit of everything, you know. So yeah, I'm super stoked for how this turned out. Definitely, especially when if you guys remember how it looked from the start, it was completely just ugly. It didn't really look of anything. So yeah, really happy for the result here. And adding these lamps here too as hanging, I thought that was kind of like a nice fit. I didn't want to have chandeliers, so I was just like, what can we do to just keep like something still hanging and still give it like a nice warm feeling. So yeah, I kind of like added those two. I also do have a fireplace in here, but the fireplace is mainly just for show. It will not be turned on or anything, because sometimes, you know, extra people do go a little bit extra mile to detail their shop interior to get the vibe going. And I felt like having like a little chimney with like a little sitting area next to the toilets were kind of a cool way of mingle and interact with all those things. So we're on the outside now here, because I feel like I'm kind of done on the inside, because I kind of wanted to do a little custom-made sign here and try to make the entrance a little bit more inviting. So I'm doing here is doing a little flower bed again, using the mulch to covering up, and then just some bushes, some trees, and then afterward I go over and I do a little custom sign, which I'm actually quite happy for. It turned out pretty cool. You know me, I'm not the crazy sign maker, so I'll take what I can get, and I don't want to use too much time on it. But this time actually worked out pretty well to my favor here. So yeah. So what I'm calling this is Peaks and Grins, which I feel like is kind of pony, and it's kind of like, you know, it has a nice tone to it, and it kind of works well with the whole Alpine and being like all cringy and corny at the same time, you know. And yeah, I don't know, it just sounds nice. So Peaks and Grins is our souvenir shop here in the Alpine area. And then I was like, what if we add like 3 triangles to represent like Alpine or like mountain peaks? And then I'm adding a little bit more basic shapes to like add a little bit snow to it. And then after that, the sign itself is pretty much done, yeah. But in total, guys, I'm really stoked on how this entire build turned out to look, and it also makes me a little bit more calm that I now have less interior, less stuff to do in here, and it also motivates me to actually go in and power through and finish the last parts of Blueport. I might do a stream next week with Blueport where I do a little bit of stuff, and then you will, as I say, get the last video, hopefully within a week or two, where I am going in and finishing up all the last things here, which is, as I told you guys, a few interiors, and then we have a little bit of transition areas that we need to fix up. But besides that, that is pretty much what it is. But we're ending it up here, guys. As I told you, it's about a half-an-hour video. I really hope you enjoyed this, guys. Let me know down below what you think of the build today, and are you as excited as I am for actually finishing this part, which is very, very soon, friends. Very, very soon. But yeah, not else is happening here besides me adding up some last things and fixing up the pathing. So guys, have a great day, have a great weekend. I hope to see you in my next Blueport video. And yeah, let me know what you think of this entire situation today. Yeah. So take care, friends, and I'll see you around. Bye bye.